address that those can be sent to.
Mark, is there still optimism that he could pull through?
So there's always hope and faith. Patients today have been very realistic of what the outlook is, and it's not positive.
So they've not yet made the decision to enter into life care, but they're close to it.
So I'm really obviously at a position I can't speak too in depth to the decisions that are being made, but the family did want folks to know that Sergeant Duran wished to be an organ donor, and they are doing everything they can. For anyone who knows about that process, there's a small window, if the unfortunate happens, to be able to make his wishes come true. So those are some of the decisions and discussions that were had today. Sergeant Duran is still with us.
Can you comment at all on some of maybe the treatments or things he's undergone? What were some of the measures to save his life at this point?
Sure, it's a fair question and one that I understand a lot of people would want to know. I'm not at liberty to discuss that. I can say that the family speaks very highly of the care he's received, and I think at some point, maybe in the future, they'll be able to discuss all those details. Nothing was spared to try to improve his condition. It was just a really, really unfortunate accident, a really unfortunate injury. Now, I did learn that Sergeant Duran, from some of his coworkers, some of them said he was one of the strongest men they've ever met in their life. His physical condition probably helped prevent other injuries to his body, but the head injury is the most severe, and that's what's causing the most problems.
Anything else you want to add or say?
No, just keep him and the family in your prayers, if you would. The El Reno community, the Fraternal Order of Police there in El Reno, and the department as a whole. It's a very difficult situation, and these things happen. They're unfortunate, but we pray for the family.
Is he conscious and awake and talking with people, or is he's in what's his state at the moment?
I can't speak. I know, but I'm not at liberty to say that. He's not doing well, though.
From a law enforcement perspective, how does something like this affect?
Yeah, it's tragic. It's not the first time a tragedy has happened, but I would offer every time there's a tragedy, it's a stark reminder of the dangers, both deliberate and sometimes accidental, that law enforcement faces, and simply just trying to serve their communities. El Reno is a tight-knit community. My understanding is they support their police department very well, and I don't want to fail to mention the individual and the citizen who Sergeant Duran was helping, who in a moment that script was flipped, and that individual also had to call for help, and thankful that they did that. But yeah, it's a reminder of the dangers that we face. We will mourn with his family. We will pray with his family, but ultimately we will support his family regardless of the outcome forever.
And then is there any other kind of fundraisers or anything, law enforcement in the community when things like this happen? Is there anything beyond just the donations right now that y'all are doing? Any kind of support thing that you guys are?
Yeah, there will be in the near future for sure. Probably a very, very large one and very announced one. But currently, as he's still undergoing care, just trying to take care of the immediate needs. I think those resources have been made available. We ask that anyone who's willing to give continue to do so. But as this situation progresses and evolves, the Fraternal Order of Police for sure, and I'm sure the community as a whole, the police department in El Reno, will be there to support the family, and we'll make more announcements about that when that information becomes available.
Have you spent any amount of time with his team?
I'm actually fixing to go over there as soon as we're done here. I've been on the phone with the Fraternal Order of Police leadership, fixing to call the chief here shortly. But this was a joint effort on behalf of the family, the police department, the FOP there in El Reno, all pulling together to pray for Sergeant Duran, but also to update on his condition.
Does the FOP have a formal position or policy that it undertakes and teaches members about with regards to being an organ donor? Do you encourage members to do that? Is that an individual choice? How does the FOP kind of thread that needle with regards to members who ask for, should I do this, should I not do this?
Yeah, so that's a very, very serious and private decision that we try to do some education on, but ultimately that's up to an individual and their family. A lot of people's faith has some bearing on that decision, so we educate where we can, but we don't pry too much. We just educate. Here are the options. We have former police officers who are on staff now with OU who have been helpful in this situation, or familiar with the kinds of things that you're mentioning. So we don't have a curriculum per se that we send to members, but we try to make them make resources available to them on those and other health issues as it involves their job.
Do you know if El Reno has a chaplain? When, if not, does the statewide FOP have any resources of that kind on the spiritual or faith front that you use to help families during periods like this?
Great question. Yes and yes. I do know that El Reno has a chaplain. Our state chaplain, Father Keith Follis, has been in touch with the El Reno chaplain. He's been in touch with the family, and his knowledge of these incidents, unfortunately, he's very versed in dealing with them. So there's other organizations, COPS, Concerns of Police Survivors, that are available, and the family will have no need for additional knowledge. We'll make sure that they're aware of every resource available to them. But our statewide chaplain does a great job of coordinating with chaplains all across the state.
Anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Sure.
For those who may not understand the process of ceremonial procedures with law enforcement, with stuff like this, can you kind of explain a little bit just kind of what the FOP does ceremonially just to honor those who have been
Sure.
line of duty?
Yeah, so it's a mixture with the department. This is considered, if the unthinkable happens, we consider this a line of duty injury. He was performing his job, he was on duty, and in the course of doing those duties, he was injured, and ultimately the outcome we're waiting. But there's a protocol that the department, I'm sure, will have. A great recognition will be given. Probably be able to speak a little bit better to the details of that here in the coming days, depending on how this develops. But yes, we're definitely ready to deal with that and to help support the family and make sure that the police department there and the FOP in El Reno and the Sergeant Duran is honored regardless of the outcome. This is horrific regardless. So obviously different outcomes have different results related to how we deal with it. But yes, we're very versed in that, and we'll honor Sergeant Duran.
And then one more question I have too: have you guys been getting phone calls and just people, other officers reaching out to you guys from across the state, maybe even across the country?
Absolutely. There's been probably thousands and thousands of well wishes sent. What can we do to help? As you mentioned, law enforcement's a very tight-knit community, and when something like this, the unthinkable happens, none of us want to be in that situation. We're mindful of the family for sure, and definitely want to be thoughtful of them. Well, this doesn't happen all the time. Anytime that it happens, it's very, very much a reminder of how tragic it is for a family. And so while we can't control everything, and as I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these things are in God's hands, we have a responsibility and a role to play, a duty I would offer to be helpful to those who are close to Sergeant Duran, and we'll definitely make sure that we accomplish that. Okay, if there's anything else, appreciate it. And like I said, we'll post the information of where donations and help can be sent on our social media. Thank you all very much.